So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit today about getting bored, I suppose. Everybody gets bored, and that's the number one problem, I suppose, with choosing to stack is you spend all of this money, and if we live in a society where if you go and spend, a few $1,000s on anything, it can be extremely entertaining, or you could end up with a nice electronic or whatever, and you get a bunch of use out of it, and it's like a toy and you can play with it. But silver is not really like that. In fact, we try not to touch it in order to keep it pristine. And so what I think is fun is to kind of get out of that mundane stacking over and over and over the same thing. Try to keep it interesting, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And so here I'll show you. I have some tubes of Eagles. Right, I got a bunch of these. I got a bunch of tubes of generic. I got a kilo bars. I got that kind of stuff. And those get really boring, because they're pretty bland. So this is a video that pretty much I want to talk about what do I stack in order to stay engaged with stacking. And so yeah, I kind of just wanted to show you some stuff that I find fun. So we'll start off with these. I'll also go ahead and say that for all of these I buy two. I buy one for me, one to sell if the price ever goes up, but generally these are not really considered part of my stack. They're considered part of a collection, and I know that these are all coins that if I want to get what I paid for them back out of them when I sell them, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of extra work to find a buyer, because a coin shop guy doesn't really care. He sees the bullion aspect of it. He doesn't necessarily care about this is a 2017 Panda and it should be worth a couple dollars more than the 2018. He doesn't care. He's going to give you a lower price. So yeah, anyway, for these, I'm going to stop talking in a sec, but for these, just know that you have to go try to find a buyer. So this one's cool. This one's new. This is that new Chinese release. I can't read Chinese, but this is a 1 ounce. This is the third one in the series, and I thought it was cool. They come in capsules, which would be nice to put inside of a tube, but they also come in this bag, and for these things, they're fun to look at, but honestly, it might be worth more if it stays in the bag, so I kept it in there. Along the same lines as those are these roosters. They're in bags still, only because they're worth more if they're in their original packaging. These are the Rwanda Lunars, the first ones that they came out with, the roosters, 2017, and I think that these are stunning. Notice I haven't bought the 2018 or the 2019 dog or pig for these, and it's because I don't like this packaging. It's hard to stack. I have to be extra careful, and they have to have their own little spot, and it's kind of annoying. So. And I wanted to point this out too, is if you're going to do this, please don't let the collector in you take over. Just pick a year, maybe the year you started stacking. So I know for a lot of you guys, that's this year, last year, or maybe 2017 or 16. Pick a year that's important to you, that you're going to start at. Don't try to go back too far, because you're going to end up blowing a bunch of money and it's not going to be worth it. For me, I started seriously stacking in 2017 that's the same year as my channel started. So I started then, and I'll just keep looking forward to these to come out. Yeah, I'll keep looking forward for the new release, and it helps me stay interested. And if I fall off at the end of the year and I stop buying a bunch, when all the 2019 stuff, or now the 2020 stuff comes out, it gets you reinvigorated and you can start back on track. Go get all the new stuff. It's a lot of fun, yay. And then you kind of remember why you're doing it, and you start to just buy generic and Eagles and Maples and Britannias and that type of stuff. But 2017 Panda, 2018 Panda, 2019 Panda, pretty cool. Get those back in there too. And these are the Perth Lunars. Rooster, dog, and pig. Here's the Swans. That's the 2018. Here's the 2017. I really do look forward to the new releases of all the Perth stuff. And yeah, it helps me stay kind of engaged. Helps me like have a little bit of fun while stacking. So yeah, the Swans, koalas, and kookaburras. I think most of you guys are into kookaburras. The problem with this is, or not really the problem, but I've noticed that, oh, that one is amazing. I love this one. Anyway, there are pretty good deals on like, you know, finding or getting random koalas or kookaburras or whatever from online sites. You know, you can get pretty lucky and get an older date that's worth way more than you paid. But in order to stay kind of you know, dedicated to my cause here, I've limited myself to 2, and I've limited myself to starting on 2017. So I don't like to do those random years for these semi-numismatics, just simply out of I don't want to get a 2016 and then feel like, oh, I need to like get a 2016 of all my stuff, or I don't want to get a 2014 and feel like it needs a pair or anything like, you know what I mean? Like, just be honest with yourself. Have rules. You know, make rules. Oh, running out of space again. Sorry for the little glitch, whatever happened there, but anyway, these ones are elephants. This is actually the first semi-numismatic coin I ever bought. Were the elephants. And once again, every year from 2017, and I'll continue to get them, and these will be probably the last thing I sell because they'll be the hardest to sell at a rate that you deem acceptable. You know what I mean? You may pay, I'm making up numbers here, but you may pay $25 for a coin, while spot price is $16, and then you walk into a coin shop and he's gonna offer you 17 bucks. And that's, you know, obviously not the best return. So you're gonna have to go find a buyer, somebody that's okay with spending a 25 on it or whatever. And there are a ton of people that want them. It's just you're gonna have to do a little bit more work than just walking in and dumping them on the countertop of your local coin shop's spot. You know what I mean? All right. What else? So those ones are series. I look forward to the new release on those every year. These ones are also kind of series-ish, but they're also just premium coins that, you know, I found because I think they're pretty or whatever, and I know that they hold a hefty premium, so I keep them aside from the basic stacking foundation I've set up with generic and government-issued bullion and junk silver and kilo bars and stuff like that. Simply because I know that don't indulge on these too much unless you're willing to put in the work to sell them. But I'll show you these. And yeah, the whole point of this is just to stay engaged, you know. For every 10th eagle you buy, they all start to look the same, and it's just boring, and it's like, oh, well, now I'm just stuffing 20s in a sock drawer, basically, and it's not as fun. So every time I start to feel like that, and I'm starting to feel like, why am I doing this? I go and I get something fun, and I'm like, oh, well, that's why I'm doing it. This is super fun. At the same time, it's also a good way to save money, and it's a good way to feel like, oh, I went on a little shopping spree, but at the end of the day, you didn't really spend any money. All you did was convert it over to silver, which you can then redeem for fiat later if that's what you choose to do. Similar to a bank account, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is the Germania new 2019. Holy cow, I love this coin. Big premium on it. They have a bunch of different cool colors now coming out. I'm not delving into those because those are like way out of my league, but I made sure to grab 2 because I have a feeling this one's gonna just be something else, you know. I thought people are gonna go nuts for this. Maybe they already are going nuts. Maybe it's at its peak. I don't know, but I feel like these coins are too pretty to just rot away in the memories of people, you know. Here's another one that I think is really cool. Netherlands lion. Yeah, I won't form tubes of these, but I'll definitely grab 2 each. Here's the mandala lion. First of the series. This is 2018. Those are cool. I'm not as big of a fan of them. They're so shiny. Any imperfections show up quite a lot. But that makes the ones that are in good shape worth so much more. You know, like for this one, $20 for a scratched up one, $40 for a non-scratched up one. So that's like, I don't know, that's something to think about. Here's the rhino. It's part of that lion, the mandala lion thing. This is the second one in the series. We'll see how many more come out. I don't know if they actually announced it. But yeah, super cool. Before I accidentally give you a face reveal, I'm going to stop looking at that. And yeah, those are basically, I don't know where I was going with this episode or whatever you want to call it, but yeah, I just kind of want to show you my fun stuff. You know, the stuff that I don't focus on, but whenever it comes out, I buy just 2 of them. I don't feel bad about it. It's a commitment I've made for myself. I said, everything cool that comes out, limit yourself to 2 and keep the majority of your stack just junk silver or generic rounds or eagles, maples, that kind of stuff. Stuff that is highly liquid. These aren't that liquid. Yeah, somebody wants them. There's always a buyer for it, but you got to work for it. And I don't want that to slow me down. So yeah, figured I'd just give you guys that talk and then, you know, put it in the comments below if I'm missing anything. I know I'm missing the Chiwus. That's another one that I would like to have in these tubes, but I sold those a while back when I thought they were at a high. But yeah, if I'm missing any really cool ones, let me know, because obviously this is something that I'm always looking for. Something new, something fun, something to keep me, you know, entertained while stacking. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.